who was there before the creation, and he is the only one who remains after the annihilation. And so that it speaks about oneness. There is this Sambandh Gyan. It talks about the spiritual and the material form of the Lord that we have discussed so much. Second, he speaks about that anything which has no connection with him or which is not in relation with him, it is of no value. It is worthless. Yes or no? This he speaks. So what he speaks? First he speaks that everything is coming from me, I am the only one. And then he says that anything which is not connected to me is of no value. It is worthless. So second, he gives the Vigyan. You've spoken to him, Manoram?
Yes, Prabhuji. Actually, he is outside, so he's coming, Prabhuji.
What? This Chatur Shloki, I was outside, I left. I had gone to my parents' place. I told them that I'm getting late. Anyway, see, if you don't value Bhagavatam, then how will you get the qualification to receive Bhagavatam? Very difficult. Kali Yuga people don't value what is being given. Do we have the qualification like Brahma? Huh? Kind of austerity Brahmaji did. And pleased with the austerity of Brahmaji, the Supreme Lord is revealing to him. And it is only because we are coming in his parampara, so we are getting the opportunity. Otherwise, what qualification do we have to receive this knowledge? So, four aspects the Supreme Lord is revealing in this four verses. So, the first is Jnanam, that is there in the 33rd verse. And then Vijnanam. Jnanam param guhyam mein yad vijnanam samanvitam. 31st verse, the Lord has already outlined it. And Sārahasyam. Why I'm speaking? Because yesterday we spoke about this aspect of Sārahasyam. What is the Sārahasyam? Who understood? What is Sārahasyam? Prabhupada gives a spectacular purport to this. How many of you read this purport again? Verse number 35. I am asking all of you. Did any one of you read the purport or not? No one is raising hand. That means no one has read. Yeah, who? Ravinder or Priyanka? Or both? Priyanka has read. So in this verse, what is the Sarahasyam? Prabhupada is talking about it. He talks about it many, many times in the purport.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. The Supreme Lord exists both within the cosmos in every atom, and at the same time he exists outside the cosmos. Means he present personally in his abode.
No. What is the Rahasyam?
And those who have the love of the Supreme Lord, he can see the Supreme Lord.
Yeah, this is talking about the goal of, the ultimate goal of human existence, that is love of God. One who is performing Prema Bhakti. The goal is to come to this level of love of God. Only they can understand. What is it? The inconceivable oneness and difference. Although the Supreme Lord is one with his energies, with this material manifestation, with the external energy, but with this material creation. But yet he is distinct. Although he is in his abode, but still he is present everywhere. So this inconceivable oneness and difference, which is achintya bheda ved tattva, this is the rahasyam. It can only be decoded to those who have developed love for the Supreme Lord. So the first verse, the 33rd verse, is speaking about the Sambandha, the Lord's material and spiritual forms. The 34th verse is speaking about the Vijnana. Vijnana means the process. And here particularly it is talking about that which is not connected to the Supreme. Both his material energies and his spiritual energies is being talked about. How both are working. One is bringing the Jiva closer to the Supreme Lord, and the other is kicking the Jiva away from the Supreme Lord. And in the 35th verse, we discussed the Prayojan, the goal. What is the goal? The goal is to achieve the love of the Supreme Lord. And in the 36th verse, the Supreme Lord will give the Abhidheya, the process. What is the fourth aspect? One is Jnanam, second is Vijnanam, third is Rahasyam, and what is the fourth one? What is the fourth one? Manoram, you are seeming as if I am speaking something which is completely out of context. Every day we are discussing. What is the fourth aspect? Still not clear, not connected. From where all of it is flowing? Where is the connection?
Which is the Supreme Lord.
No, that is true. But from where all this flow is coming, one after the other? What is the
Parampara.
no? This is what has. Read the verse number 31. Translation. You have missed. You have not studied actually. You people are not putting any effort. Only Priyanka is the only one who read it. मानिनी आपने पढ़ा था? What is Sar Rahasyam? कृष्ण पढ़ने की जरूरत ही नहीं है आप लोग को. आप लोग को पढ़ने को इच्छा ही नहीं है. कम से कम 10 बार भी पढ़ेंगे तो भी नहीं समझ में आएगा. एक बार भी नहीं पढ़े तो समझ ले, बता रहे हैं भगवान को हमको समझना ही नहीं है. We don't want to understand. Hare Krishna. How to explain? It's so difficult. The subject matter itself is so high. This is being given in the condensed form to Brahmaji. We are not even an ant. And that ant also wants to remain under cover. Then what to do? What is the fourth aspect? Manoram Prabhu. Almost 1 week we have discussed this. पुरुषोत्तम आप बोलो. अभी उसमें किताब में नहीं मिलेगा ऐसे. अगर सुनना है ठीक से तो बता पाओगे, नहीं तो नहीं बता पाओगे. What is Abhiday, man? What is Abhiday? बोलिए रविंदर।
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
हरे कृष्णा।
Here Brahma ji is seeking for benediction. So how can he um, proceed for devotional service?
Yeah, the fourth is the process. What is the process? Angam, sa angam. This is what the Lord said. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Jnanam Param Guhyam me yad Vijnanam Samanvitam Sarahasyam Tad Angam cha and Grahana Gaditam Maya. That one must accept the process that the Supreme Lord is revealing, which of course Brahmaji did. So he is giving the Angam. What is the Angam? Is the process. And what is that process? The process is Bhakti. What kind of Bhakti? Sadhana Bhakti. If one wants to come to the Prayojan, the goal which is Sa Rahasyam, the love of God, what one has to do? One has to perform Sadhana Bhakti. Okay, we'll see the verse. At least we'll begin the verse. If not fully discuss it, we won't be able to fully discuss it. Important verse and long purport again. Etavadev jigyasam tattva jigyasuna atmana अन्वया व्यतिरेकभ्यम यत्सात् सर्वत्र सर्वदा एतावदेव जिज्ञासं तत्त्वजिज्ञासुनात्मना अन्वया व्यतिरेकभ्यम यत्स्यात् सर्वत्र सर्वदा. So it is etavat, up to this eva jigyasam. A person who is searching after the supreme absolute truth, the personality of Godhead, must certainly search for it up to this in all circumstances. The tattva jigyasa. And tattva jigyasa, jigyasunaha. Gyasuna means the aspirant or the student here Prabhupada is writing. Must certainly search it up to this in all circumstances, in all space and time, and both directly and indirectly. Anvaya is in directly and Vyatirekabhyam is indirectly. So what is this? One must search after Sarvatra Sarvada, in all circumstances, in all space and time, both directly and indirectly. Prabhupada gives the purport. To unfold the mystery of Bhakti Yoga, as it is explained in the previous verse, is the ultimate stage of all inquiries. So this must be searched. The Sarahasyam. Sarahasyam is what? Prema Bhakti. So what the sadhaka has to search to come to the stage of Prema Bhakti. Is the ultimate stage of all inquiries or the highest objective for the inquisitive. Everyone is searching after self-realization in different ways. By Karma Yoga, by Jnana Yoga, by Dhyana Yoga, by Raj Yoga, by Bhakti Yoga, etc. Those who are in this is being talked about for those aspirants, for those candidates who are attempting for perfection, those who are very sincere in their quest for self-realization. To engage in self-realization is the responsibility of every living entity developed in consciousness. So who will attempt? Those whose consciousness is little developed. Those whose consciousness is covered, they will never attempt. One who is developed in consciousness certainly makes inquiry into the mystery of the self. This is called the Atma Jigyasa or Tattva Jigyasa of the cosmic situation and of the problems of life in all spheres and fields: social, political, economic, cultural, religious, moral, etc., and in the different branches. But here the goal of all such inquiries is explained. The Vedanta Sutra philosophy began with this inquiry about life. Athato Brahma Jigyasa. And the Bhagavatam answers such inquiries up to this point of the mystery of all inquiries. Lord Brahma wanted to be perfectly educated by the personality of Godhead. And here is the answer by the Lord, finished in 4 nutshell verses from Aham Eva to this word Etavad Evaha. This is the end of all self-realization process. Men do not know that the ultimate goal of life is Vishnu. Nate vidu swarth gatim hi Vishnu. Why? Durashaya. Durashaya bahi arthamanina. Or the Supreme Personality of Godhead, due to being bewildered by the glaring reflection of the darkness. What is the next line in the verse? Anyone remember this very beautiful verse from Srimad Bhagavatam? You don't know this verse? No one knows this verse. Surprise, so many times Prabhupada quotes this verse. Okay, I'll proceed. So everyone is entering into the darkest region of material existence driven by uncontrolled senses. The whole material existence has sprung up because of sense gratification, desire based principally on the sex desire. And the result is that, in spite of all advancement of knowledge, the final goal of all activities of the living entities is sense gratification. But here is the real goal of life, and everyone should know it by inquiries put before a bona fide spiritual master, expert in the science of Bhakti Yoga, or from a living personality of Bhagavatam life. Everyone is engaged in various kinds of scriptural inquiries, but the Srimad Bhagavatam gives answers to all of the various students of self-realization. This ultimate objective of life is not to be searched out without great labor or perseverance. One who is imbued with such sincere inquiries must ask the bona fide spiritual master in the disciplic succession from Brahmaji, and that is the direction given here. Because the mystery was disclosed before Brahmaji by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the mystery of all such inquiries regarding self-realization must be put before such a spiritual master, who is directly the representative of the Lord. Acknowledged in that disciplic succession, such a bona fide spiritual master is able to clear up the whole thing by evidence from the revealed scriptures, both direct and indirect. Although everyone is free to consult the revealed scriptures in this connection, one still requires the guidance of a bona fide spiritual master. And that is the direction in this verse. The bona fide spiritual master is the most confidential representative of the Lord and must receive direction from the spiritual master in the same spirit that Brahmaji received it from the personality of Godhead Lord Krishna. The bona fide spiritual master is that in that bona fide chain of disciplic succession never claims to be Lord himself. Although such a spiritual master is greater than the Lord in the sense that he can deliver the Lord by his personally realized experience. Prabhupada's purports. Uh, what Prabhupada is saying. He can deliver the Lord. Who? The self-realized spiritual master by his personally realized experience. The Lord is not to be found simply by education or by good fertile brain, but surely he can be found by sincere student through the transparent medium of a bona fide spiritual master. This is the essence of performing sadhana. Or in sadhana bhakti, what is the essence? Is the direction and shelter of a bona fide spiritual master. And Prabhupada is writing here that it is not to be found by good fertile brain. The revealed scriptures give direction directly to this end. But because the bewildered living entities are blinded by the glaring reflection in the darkness, they are unable to find the truth of the revealed scriptures. For example, in the Bhagavad Gita, the whole direction is targeted toward the personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna. But for want of a bona fide spiritual master in the line of Brahmaji or a direct hearer, Arjuna, there are different distortions of the revealed knowledge by many unauthorized persons who just want to satisfy their own whims. Undoubtedly, the Bhagavad Gita is accepted as one of the most brilliant stars in the horizon of the spiritual sky. Yet the interpretation of this great book of knowledge have so grossly been distorted that every student of Bhagavad Gita is still in the same darkness of glaring material reflections. Such students are hardly enlightened by the Bhagavad Gita. In the Gita, practically the same instruction is imparted as in the four prime verses in Srimad Bhagavatam. But due to wrong and fashionable interpretation by unauthorized persons, one cannot reach the ultimate conclusion in the Bhagavad Gita. 1861 it is clearly stated, Ishvara sarva bhutanam hide deshe arjuna tishtati brahmayan sarva bhutani yantra runani mayaya. The Lord is situated in the hearts of all living beings as Paramatma, and He is controlling all of them in the material world under the agency of His external energy. Therefore, it is clearly mentioned that the Lord is a supreme controller and that the living entities are controlled by the Lord. Okay. It's a big purport, a huge purport. Oh my God. Oh, it will take many days. Yeah. At least 6 to 8 pages of purport. Okay. It is clearly mentioned in that the Lord is the supreme controller and that the living entities are controlled by the Lord. In the same Bhagavad Gita 1865, the Lord directs as follows, Manmana bhava mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mami vashyati satyam te pratijane priyosi me. It is clear from this verse of the Bhagavad Gita that the direction of the Lord is that one should be God-minded, a devotee of the Lord, a worshipper of the Lord, and must offer all obeisances unto Lord Krishna. And by doing, the devotee will undoubtedly go back to Godhead, back to home. Indirectly, it is said that the whole Vedic social construction of human society is so made that everyone acts as a part and parcel of the complete body of the Lord. The intelligent class of men or the Brahmanas are situated as on the face of the Lord. The administrative class of men, the Kshatriyas, are situated on the arms of the Lord. The productive class of men, the Vaishyas, are situated on the belt of the Lord. And the laborer class of men, the Shudras, are situated on the legs of the Lord. Therefore, the complete social construction of the body of the Lord and all parts of the body, namely the Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Shudras, are meant to serve the Lord's whole body conjointly. Otherwise, the parts become unfit to be coordinated with the supreme consciousness of oneness. Universal consciousness is factually achieved by coordinating services of all concerned. Universal consciousness is factually achieved by coordinated service of the all concerned with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and that alone can ensure total perfection. Therefore, even the great scientists, the great philosophers, and great mental speculators, the great politicians, the great industrialists, the great social reformers, etc., cannot give any relief to the restless society of the material world because they do not know the secret of success as mentioned in this verse of the Bhagavatam, namely that one must know the mystery of Bhakti Yoga. In the Bhagavad Gita 7:15, it is also said, Namam dushkritino mudha prapadyante naradhama mayaya prita jnana asuram bhavam ashrita. Okay, I'll stop here. It's a very long purport. So please put attention and try to understand the different aspects of these four verses. This is the entire Bhagavatam which is summarized. What more should I speak? Hare Krishna. Anyone has any question? Anything to ask? We'll resume from where we were tomorrow. Hare Krishna. So we'll end here. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande.